Welcome to a quiet Sunday reset. If you're new here, hi, my name is Phylicia. I'm a military spouse and mom to 3 little ones. Earlier this fall, we started our first year homeschooling our oldest. I love sharing simple, cozy glimpses of our everyday life. I thought I'd bring you along today as I got ready for the week ahead. My husband was out of town this weekend, so it was a solo parenting Sunday for me. Our Sundays always start out with breakfast together and coffee for me, of course. I really try to keep Sundays simple, especially on days like this one where I am on my own. I try not to be frantic and rushing everyone out the door for church. Speaking of church, I had fully planned on getting everyone ready and out the door in time for church this morning. But as I was eating breakfast, I noticed that this little one was not feeling her best. So I made the decision to not go to church this morning and to try to make it a quiet, restful family day at home together. While the kids watched a little TV, I took a few minutes to get myself ready and also make a rough to do list for the day. I am definitely a type B mom. I am not a planner, a list maker. I go with the flow. I'm pretty easygoing for the most part. But when I'm solo parenting, I realize that I have to make to do lists in order to get myself, or I should say, keep myself on track with all the things that I need to get done. So it's just something that really helps me stay focused and stay on task. Once I got myself ready and wrote out my to do list, we all headed upstairs so that the kids could have some playtime while I had some Bible time. I have been going through the Bible recap this year, although I will be honest, I did skip a few months at some point and rejoined with the start of the New Testament. Maybe this next year I will actually stick to it and read every single day. But it's just the way I like to start the day, and I usually do like a deeper Bible study later at night when the kids are sleeping. After that, I headed back downstairs to start checking things off my to do list. I like to start with unloading the dishwasher and clearing off all of the countertops. That way, it's ready to receive a whole day's worth of mess later on. Then it was time to start some homeschool prep. I printed out a few things that we needed for the week ahead. I started with printing out our morning menu worksheets for the week. And then the kids had asked me to print out some tracing worksheets for them. We have quite a few that I printed out previously, but they were wanting some new ones. So I went on to Teachers Pay Teachers, which is an amazing resource. If you've never heard of it, definitely check it out. There are tons and tons of free resources on there. But anyways, I printed out some new tracing worksheets, and my plan is to laminate them so that they can use dry erase markers and they can be reused over and over. Once I had everything printed out, it was time to start switching out the pages in the morning menus. And after I finished that, I started to reset the morning basket for the week. I have just a pretty simple morning basket that I put together for the kids. It just has some books in it and a few activities that they can do. It's really nice to have that in the mornings because I don't have to think about it or pre-plan it other than resetting it every week. So it's just a nice way to start the morning and kind of ease into the schoolwork. While I was getting the morning basket reset, the kids were playing outside, and in true real life fashion, they tracked in dried up mud throughout the whole house. There's always a little bit of a mess mixed in with the planning, especially when you're outnumbered. Once I got all of that cleaned up, we had lunch together, and then it was time for the kids to have nap and quiet time. I also took a bit of quiet time myself and made a cup of coffee and sat down to read a book. On solo parenting days, I have learned that it's really important for me to take some time to rest too, so that way I can reset and be ready to tackle the rest of the day. Later on, I cleaned off our blackboard and set it up for the week with our new letter of the week and our Bible verse of the week. The letter of the week I get from the kids' morning menus, so that makes the planning easy on my part. I don't even have to think about it. Little things like having this blackboard up here just helps give a visual for the kids, but it also helps me stay on track and be more prepared as well. Now, I don't do this for every subject, but I like to take a look ahead for math for the week. I just kind of skim through the lessons and mentally prepare myself or gather supplies if I need anything for the week. Later that evening, I started dinner. When I'm solo parenting, I really don't do anything fancy for dinner. I try to keep it simple as much as I can. And this night in particular, I just needed to do something that I know would be a win all around. So, not the healthiest, but I made breakfast for dinner. I made bacon and pancakes, hash brown, and eggs, and there was no issues with anyone eating their dinner. So, I would call that a win. After we ate, I did a quick tidy of the house. I put the dishes in the dishwasher, wiped down the kitchen countertops and the dining table, and then I vacuumed the main areas of our downstairs. I don't do a deep clean on Sundays, but I like to reset the main areas of the house. And actually, this goes for every night, not just Sundays, but just resetting the main areas of the house. It's just an amazing feeling to wake up to in the morning when you're not waking up to yesterday's crumbs. So it's just always a nice feeling in the morning to wake up to at least a clean kitchen and clean dining table. Then it was time for bed. I read a story and tucked everyone in, and slowly the house got quiet again. There's always a little extra sense of relief on nights when I've been solo parenting once the kids are all asleep. I made myself a cup of tea and got ready for a shower. This is usually when I finally feel like I can breathe a little bit and unwind and kind of decompress from the day. Thank you for spending this Sunday at home with us. I hope this gave you some gentle inspiration for your own reset days, and I hope it reminded you that they don't have to be perfect to be peaceful, especially if you're doing it on your own or having a solo parenting day like I was. I'm really glad you're here, and I will see you in another video very soon.